Late on a Friday, Arvada police acknowledge what everyone's been asking since Monday. Who killed the Good Samaritan who stopped the Olde Town shooting? It was a police officer. We'll look at the key questions that are now answered and those still unanswered. Firefighters in the Denver area have not seen a catastrophic building collapse like the one near Miami, yet they have the specialized equipment waiting for that call. Hey, anglers, leave those fish alone. Wildlife workers say the ridiculously easy to catch fish in our state are a sign of a really serious problem. And the pandemic demand for shelter pets, it's over, leaving some very good boys and girls languishing for much longer.
My good news today is one of our longest stay dogs named Hobbs was just adopted.
So some unusual effort is going into these adoptions. No shock, lots of awe. Next. Arvada police admit that they killed the Good Samaritan who stopped Monday's Olde Town shooting. And late this afternoon, police offered their first explanation of why it happened. New information and a snippet of video made public by Arvada police are allowing our Chris Vanderveen to answer some of the questions our community has had for days.
We'll start with the basics. That's the shooter there. There's Officer Gordon Beasley up there. The shooter approaches from behind. We'll freeze it right there. Police say he shot twice. You then see the shooter leave for a few seconds before walking back to his truck to grab what police say was an AR-15. What happened next with the Good Samaritan is not in this video, but I want to fill in some questions you might have. 1. Who shot Johnny Hurley? Police now confirm an officer did. It's the first official acknowledgement of this. They say after Hurley shot and killed the shooter with a handgun, an officer saw Hurley. The release says Hurley was holding the suspect's AR-15 before the officer shot him. Which leads to question 2. Could the shooting of Hurley been avoided? We don't know. We don't know why Hurley was touching the AR-15. We don't know if police ordered him to drop it or if Hurley even held it up. That will be a central part of an ongoing investigation. 3. What would have happened had Hurley not intervened? Had he not shot the shooter? We know a little more about this. Look closely at the video. That's the shooter there before he was shot. A woman runs by, running for her life. But the shooter doesn't seem interested. Right after this moment, police say, he starts shooting at patrol cars. He appears more interested in shooting at officers. Police today once again called Hurley a hero. He saved numerous lives. Those lives may very well have included other officers.
So, Chris, we see that video that Arvada police chose to make public along with this information. Probably a fair guess that in Olde Town, Arvada, that the other shooting involving an unidentified APD officer and the Good Samaritan is probably on camera too.
You'd have to believe that. You have to believe that there's other cameras that are going to show a lot more of this. As of right now, this is the one view that Arvada police has sort of provided to us late this afternoon. It's a view, but it's not the entire story.
They also provide a bit of information about the original gunman, Raul Troike, the guy they say took Officer Beasley out, about his motivation, saying they recovered a document and they provided a few select quotes saying that he was targeting law enforcement. It's tough to what to make of that.
It's really good of you to sort of pinpoint on that because we see sort of snippets from that sort of letter that potentially Troike wrote to police in anticipation of getting it. It's small snippets that say, hey, I'm interested in shooting at cops this day. I'm going to go after police officers this day. We don't know the entire content of that note, so it's careful. We need to be careful in terms of how we report it.
That said, his behavior in that short video that we see, ignoring other civilians, killing the officer, going back for another gun, heading back to the center of town where he knew that police were responding, that comports with what police are saying.
That is so telling because you see other people in that video that are walking by the shooter at the time. They are running for their lives. He doesn't seem terribly interested in them. He seems as if potentially he is interested in shooting other officers.
It's clear Johnny Hurley saved lives. There's no doubt about that. And now we got to figure out for his family what happened with him. Chris,
Absolutely.
thank you.
You bet.
The search for survivors of the collapsed condo building near Miami continues tonight, and that includes Cassie Stratton, the wife of Colorado's well-known Democratic strategist Mike Stratton. He offered his thanks to first responders today, along with appreciation for the community's support, as he and his family wait, hoping against hope, that there might be some good news about Cassie, one of 159 people still unaccounted for in Surfside, Florida. Now, firefighters in the Denver metro area have not faced a catastrophe like that one, but they told our Noel Brennan they have the right training and the right equipment to respond.
We cover confined space, trench rescue, building collapse, vehicle extrication, rope rescues.
Firefighters travel with tools they need for the job, but some jobs require a bigger toolbox.
This is our collapse rig for South Metro.
Anything Captain Brett Pickford packs fits comfortably inside South Metro Fire's new collapse rescue truck.
And so it carries heavy equipment and lumber to deal with building collapses. And then we would put this up with the trusses. So these are just our initial snake eye cameras, just something you'd be able to use like at home, from Home Depot.
These tools are the kind rescuers carry to the rubble of a collapsed condo building in Miami.
It takes you back to September 11th and the World Trade Centers. When you look at that type of collapse, you see that, and then you see a pile of rubble, and it looks calm when you look at it, but there's a lot of chaos going on that you're not seeing underneath the voids and things like that. And then days, weeks, and even months going into that with the rescue crews and all the families that are affected by it. That's the hard part.
Some tools firefighters won't find in any truck.
It's never easy, right? There's people trapped. You can hear them screaming and yelling a lot of times, and we're trying to do everything we can to get to them, and it's emotionally draining.
Despite the risk, rescuers stay until the job is done.
We have tools we can use to get them out, and we're going to do everything in our power to do that.
For Next, I'm Noel Brennan.
South Metro Fire got that new collapse rescue truck through a federal grant, and there are only a couple of those around the metro area, so South Metro has promised to bring in its truck if needed to help other agencies. Republican state senator is accused of using his role to get a different judge on his friend's case. Same legislator sponsored a law that involves the state's senior judge program. Republican State Senator Bob Gardner called this complaint a political move as an ethics committee made up of his colleagues gathered to review it today. This complaint, filed by Chris Forsyth of the Judicial Integrity Project, dates back to an incident in 2019. Forsyth says Gardner has been telling a story about making a phone call when he learned his friend was going before a certain judge. The complaint says that Gardner's position as a state senator made it possible for a different judge to get assigned to the case, and claims the new law expanding the senior judge program would give Gardner even more power over the judicial system. There are 5 senators who sit on this ethics committee looking at this. There's 3 Democrats, 2 Republicans. The committee could recommend punishments for Senator Gardner clear up to expulsion. They'll meet on this next month.
I have been in complete and utter shock since Wednesday after learning that I'm the 4th winner.
Stephanie Sharp is Colorado's first winner of the $1 million vaccine contest to stand up Governor Polis at the press conference, but she had good reason. She's in Pennsylvania, seeing family in person for the first time since before COVID. Sharp was vaccinated before the contest was announced. All 4 of Colorado's $1 million winners got the shot before the sweepstakes to incentivize people to get vaccinated. And if we're being honest, the state's evidence that the sweepstakes is working is Our Marshall Zellinger had some questions for the governor.
How do you determine success of a vaccine incentive contest when every winner of the contest did not need an incentive to get their vaccine?
I wouldn't be shocked if all the winners aren't from that broader category. This is designed to get a few percent more, to be at 70 by July 4th instead of 67%.
The governor's office says we're at 69.23%.
That's right. You could win $1 million.
It was 1 month ago today that Democratic Governor Jared Polis announced the $1 million vaccine incentive contest. That week, vaccinations dropped 35% from the week before. The next week, the week of Memorial Day, the drop was 21%. The following week, vaccinations were up 11% and have dropped again since. But since I'm not Marty McFly, I cannot go back in time and compare to the same weeks if Polis had not offered the $1 million incentive.
Just kind of eyeballing it, it does look like that decline, that the pace of decline slowed a bit during at least the initial weeks after the announcement.
Glenn Mays is a professor of health policy at the Colorado School of Public Health, who agreed it is tough to know if the incentive worked based on Colorado vaccination statistics alone.
It's very difficult to kind of tease out the effects of the lottery without comparing ourselves, Colorado, to other states that did not implement a lottery.
Take Wisconsin, for instance, which does not have a $1 million contest. That state also saw nearly identical percentage drops in people getting vaccinations in late May. And just like Colorado, there was a spike the week of June 6th, followed by a nearly identical drop.
Our research shows it's between 10 and 20% of the population that plans to get it. They say, I'll probably get vaccinated. Not tomorrow, I work this week, I'm busy this weekend, I don't want to be sore the next day. They're putting it off. And so this is designed to say, make a plan now and get vaccinated. And absolutely, we can point to, we think it's had a several percentage point increase in where we would be.
The young people behind the governor, those were the newest winners of the $50,000 scholarship contest. The governor said there are going to be smaller incentives coming up. He mentioned $50 and $100 gift certificates, ski passes, parks and wildlife passes. I'll let you know how those are supposed to work when I get more information on that. As for the success of any contest, big or small, Kyle, Glenn Mays from the School of Public Health said we need to compare to national statistics that are very difficult to do in real time.
And Marshall, when people look at the cost benefit of this, important to point out that it's not like Governor Polis could have taken this $5 million and paved the roads with it. This was federal taxpayer money coming in earmarked for specific COVID functions.
He's very clear, and he said this to me after the news conference. This is federal money. But then I asked one of his spokespeople if they could point me to the part that says this has to be advertising money. Because he keeps saying that. Like, we're going to spend advertising or we're going to give it as better than advertising. And I want to see where it says must be used for advertising. Because it could be used for other COVID things. But as you say, it is not for transportation.
All right. Marshall, I'm sure the governor is very, very sick of your questions. And that's one of the reasons why it's so delightful to watch your stories. Thanks, Marshall. Have a good weekend. Reminder that your Word of Thanks microgiving campaign this week is supporting the Arvada community following the Olde Town shooting with a particular focus on what we can do for the family of fallen police officer Gordon Beasley. The Arvada Healing Fund has been set up specifically for next viewers. It's a chance for you to give once and to have the money be split between two nonprofits that are helping that community. The Colorado Organization for Victims Assistance is covering the unmet financial needs of all of the victims and the survivors, and that would include the family of the Good Samaritan, Johnny Hurley, if they're interested in that help. And then the other half of what we raise is going to go to the Colorado Fallen Hero Foundation, which is specifically supporting Officer Beasley's wife and children. Text the word thanks to 303-871-1491. I'll send you that link to join me and a whole bunch of other next viewers in donating. You have raised more than $20,000 in a couple of days for this. Thank you.
The fish are stressed out because it's hot, even underwater, leading the state to make a request. And you have our next question about the cost to drive around the metro area and why the cost seems to shift from day to day. Next. Today's next question comes from Kelsey, who's changing up her commute to work and the amount of change that she spends to get there.
I recently started using the express lane to get to work. I wanted to know why is it that on Mondays and Fridays it's more expensive?
Kelsey, CDOT says that it uses congestion pricing, so you pay more when they expect that more people will be on the roads. There are a few exceptions. Prices in the express lanes stay the same on weekends, including the Mountain Express lane.
Pretty stormy Friday afternoon for you. Jessica Fay capturing this amazing shot of a lightning strike out there in Brighton after a hailstorm pushed through. It was a stormy afternoon really across the entire state. The thunderstorm's still coming through, and we have that severe thunderstorm watch going until 9 p.m. This is pretty much east of Lyman along I-70. Lightning strikes more than 270 just within about the past 15 minutes time. And this cell that is across the Denver area, that is just slowly pushing off to the east. For now, just some heavy rain. Most of the action around Burlington with a lot of lightning. Looking ahead toward this evening, about 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, we're still tracking a couple of light little showers. Another round moving through about lunchtime or so tomorrow, and then those mostly cloudy skies taking us into your Saturday evening. Tomorrow temperatures on the cooler side. You asked for the 70s. Here they are, 71 tomorrow. Overall, partly to mostly cloudy, but again, a good chance for some more rain around here. Could easily pick up about a ½ inch by late tomorrow night. 70s off to the eastern plains, 50s and 60s up into the high country. Enjoy this nice cool off as we wind down the month of June. Looking ahead toward July, the heat is here. The 80s return by the middle of next week.
You know who wants the rain and the cool down, Danielle? It's the fish.
Yes,
fish
they do.
The fish are very stressed.
Bring it on.
They are so stressed in southern Colorado, particularly in the Dolores River. Say it again, Kyle. The Dolores River. That wildlife workers down there are asking people to not go fishing in the afternoon because it's not a fair fight.
So a stressed out fish is a fish that does not run away from you. So when you walk up to the edge of a stream, we've probably all seen trout scatter and hide. And so a stressed out fish will just kind of linger. They'll look lethargic. They may actually have patches of fungus on them, which is this cottony substrate that can grow on their skin. And they look stressed.
That's kind of sad. Jim White with CPW says the water levels in the Dolores are 10% of what they would like to see. Low flows of water heat up fast, and the fish are really not comfortable or healthy in 70-degree water. They would much rather have it be in the mid-50s to 60s. CPW told us that they chose to do that voluntary please don't fish after noon announcement rather than making it a mandatory rule, because anglers in Southwest Colorado have been really respectful of them just asking like that in the past.
Everyone wanted a dog during the pandemic, someone to keep them company at home. That's over. So the dogs are left waiting now, and waiting, as some very good humans get very creative in trying to help them home. Next.
Bit of good news during the pandemic was the number of Americans adopting pets. Everybody wanted companionship at home. Denver Dumb Friends League says interest in adoption has dropped way off as life returns to normal. But I would like to think that all of the sweet and smart ways that they're trying to get their toughest to adopt animals out the door is good news in and of itself.
From a dog or cat's perspective, they would be very excited. We take great care of the pets here at the shelter, but there's really no place like a home. My name is Joan Thielen, and I am the Public Relations Manager at the Dumb Friends League. So the Dumb Friends League is the largest community-based animal welfare organization in the Rocky Mountain region. So it's been an interesting couple of months at the Dumb Friends League. We have seen a decrease in our adoptions. We're down around 36% compared to this time last year in dog adoptions overall.
He's so pretty.
In the age of modern technology at the Dumb Friends League, we're always looking for unique ways to market our pets.
Good girl.
We use things like TikTok. TikTok is a social media platform where you can feature short videos. Our social media like Instagram and Facebook as well. And then we really depend on our community. So we have some adopters who have created Instagram accounts for their personal pets that will help advocate for animals that we have here available for adoption. Yeah, absolutely. It's a dream to work here, to get to change people's lives. We're helping these animals, we're finding them homes, but really we're impacting the community as well and helping them find these new connections and build these friendships for a lifetime.
DDFL is doing a Name Your Own Price Adopt-a-thon this weekend. This is where I tell you that the late, great Best Boy Porter, who some of you may remember, would want me to say that some relationships in life are priceless. Hey, a very good question from one of you about what we currently know and do not know about the Olde Town shooting. One more question is next. Lynn writes in tonight, what proof do we have that the Good Samaritan in Arvada, Johnny Hurley, was holding the AR-15? We have the police department saying he was, but what evidence is there? Lynn, I would wager that there is video evidence based on where this happened in Olde Town, Arvada. And listen, as somebody who read the original account of George Floyd's death from police, then saw the video, I don't blame anybody for questioning. But in this case, there's likely video and it would likely come out in a lawsuit or a trial. See you next time.